Welcome to another Zincast, and we are doing Pucking Around with Chris, and yes, I'm Chris, and I'm joined by, you guessed it, Chris. All right, so it's the hockey playoffs. It's the best time of year. It's the best playoffs that are in any sport. I'm sorry, I'm going to go out and say it. It beats football, it beats baseball, it beats basketball, okay? It is the best. It is where you get the passion. Okay, the endurance of these guys. These guys are playing with teeth on the ice. They get knocked some teeth out. They're still on the ice. They're playing. No sport, none has that. What do you think about that, Chris? Huh?
Well, I mean, this is the best time of the year. Always, like, hockey, every game is like Game 7. Every game is pushed to the envelope like a Super Bowl. So, yeah, hockey playoffs is unlike any other event out there. And it goes so long. And I think that's what the best part is.
That's what I was saying. The endurance that these guys have. Watching a Game 7 triple OT.
Yeah, exactly. And it's nice to have a team that, can go the length. So, it's something to root for.
Well, yeah. And obviously there's, we are Penguins fans here. But the picks that we are making today are not on who we like as teams. It's about who we think is going to win, okay? So we're going to give you the picks. We're going to break down some series. I'm even going to give you some lines that Vegas has put on so that when you have your little betting apps, your DraftKings, your FanDuels, or whatever you use, obviously these lines are for the series and they are from the time of filming. So check your app. These things do change, okay? And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800, whatever that number is. Hey, always gamble responsibly. All right, see, we have to do the housekeeping, right? And you know what? We got to do it right now also. Make sure you subscribe because we will be doing videos throughout the playoffs, okay? And hit the like button and comment. Give us your picks in the comments below. We want to know what you guys did. We can match it up and we'll tally it all up and see, hey, who did better? You all or us? And by the way, we don't discuss our picks, so we just make them. So they could be completely different. All right, so let's dive right in since we got all the housekeeping taken care of. And let us go to the President's Trophy winners, okay? The Florida Panthers, okay? Versus the Washington Capitals. And before we start, I just have to say that I really think this comes down to Ovechkin.
Correct. Being healthy.
Yeah. Does he come back? And is he there to play or is he there as a decoy? Ovechkin there as a decoy will help, but if he's having some shoulder issues and can't get that power behind his shots, well then he's not going to help them offensively. Scoring goals. Obviously, if he's on the ice, he's still going to have a presence. What do you think about this series, Chris?
I mean, it basically comes down to Ovechkin being healthy. He's missed the last 3 games, I believe, with an upper body injury.
It's one of his shoulders.
So, I mean, that's a big deal with him since his intimidating slap shot and power when it comes to hitting that puck is pretty important. Not on top of the fact that he's aggressive and needs to hit, and, well, he's just a powerhouse. I mean, the Capitals have been in the playoffs, have won a cup. That line has been insane. You got our good pal Tom Wilson on that on that team, who I'm a big fan of as always. But I mean, they're playing the Panthers. I mean, the Capitals only won 44 games this year.
But they are the bottom team in the East in the Eastern Division, but they still had 100 points coming in. That every team was at 100 or over 100 in the East, which is crazy because these are all really good teams.
I mean, yeah, the Panthers won 58 games. I mean, that's 14 more games. They only lost 18 times. That's pretty insane.
Yeah, they did play the Capitals 3 times during the regular season. They beat them twice, lost to them once. One of those games, though, I believe was either shootout or overtime. So, the regular season overtime shootout stuff is different. But the thing that I'm concerned about the Panthers, I mean, look, offensively, they're a juggernaut. They're a 5th-ranked power play. Okay, Jonathan Huberdeau is, insane.
Yeah.
Okay, 30 goals, 85 assists. You got Sam Reinhart, Alexander Barkov, Aaron Ekblad in defense. These guys, I know that they're going to put up the goals. The problem is Sergei Bobrovsky, okay? He tends to have poor playoff performances. And this is not just with the Panthers, okay? I mean, last year he had a poor playoff performance. But even before that, in other teams that he's been in that have made the playoffs, he's not the reason why they win games, you know? And, I mean, his numbers throughout the season, 2.67 goals against average. Yeah, he's got 39 wins. But that's because the Panthers score goals.
Yeah, they're fire.
Yeah.
Literally, they're fired. They're like a Doja Cat.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing that I think is going to help the Panthers out. Because we just talked about Bob. But Ilya Samsonov for the Capitals.
Oh.
3 goals against average, 3.02 actually.
They've lost the last 5 or 6 games too.
He's their problem there. Yeah. So that's why I think it comes down to Ovechkin.
It's a veteran team. It's kind of a little bit similar to the Penguins if you think about it. They're an old school veteran team that always could put up a match. You know, it's like one of these things that you're like, oh, you know, Panthers should just go in and take them down in 5 or 6 games. But at the same time, don't be surprised if for some reason Ovechkin's ready to go. You've seen them go push it to Game 7, and you never know.
If Ovechkin is playing, I think it's a completely different series because then the firepower can somewhat match up. Still like the Panthers, even with Ovechkin playing. Yeah. But without Ovechkin, I mean, this could be a sweep.
Yeah, because I don't know then what they're going to do with the Lions. Like, they can't keep them the same.
Well, no, and look, even without Ovechkin, they've lost those last 3 games, and those 3 games were not like throwaway games.
Yeah,
if they won one of those games,
they all counted.
They would have overshot the Penguins, and they'd be playing the Rangers.
Which is what we wanted.
As a Penguins fan, I actually I want to play the Panthers just because I was saying it'll be an offensive fireworks of a show, right? Yeah. And I know the Penguins have success against Bob. Yeah. Bobrovsky, okay? Yes. I know I keep calling him Bob. It's Bobrovsky, guys. Yeah. I know his name. And by the way, their backup goaltender, Spencer Knight.
Yeah.
He has 19 wins, so they had been splitting time. I can see Bob getting pulled and Spencer having to come in, so we'll see. But Chris, go ahead, give me your pick for Panthers Capitals. Oh, before you do that, Panthers at the time of filming minus 290 to win the series. Capitals plus 225, so you could clearly see Vegas is leading towards the Panthers.
Yeah, I mean, given the fact that this is the President's Trophy team, and with the Panthers' unbelievable firepower, they're just, unless they sit everybody on their starting line, including their team, like, I don't know, Doctor, I see that the Panthers beat the Capitals in 6 games. And that's just pushing if Ovechkin starts. I'm being generous. If he doesn't, then I say Panthers in 5.
Yeah, I'm actually going Panthers in 5 also. I think if Ovechkin comes back, he's going to be more of a decoy. Shoulder injury specifically with his power. And remember, he likes to be physical. He likes to give hits. He's not going to be able to have that same presence. He'll be a decoy. Other guys like Kuznetsov, Tom Wilson, Oshie, Backstrom.
That guy.
Even Connor Sheary actually had a really good year for Washington. So they will all need to step up. But I just think the goaltending, I would go with Bobrovsky over Samsonov. And again, the firepower is the Panthers they are stacked. They could score.
Yeah.
All right. So I said Panthers in 5, and you went 6 if Ovi's playing, 5 if they are not. So let us move to Game 2, or Series 2, should I say, of the Eastern Conference. The Hurricanes, Carolina Hurricanes versus the Boston Bruins. Let me lead off on this one because the Canes, listen, they are an impressive team. We were talking about the firepower of Florida. They also have amazing firepower. Sebastian Aho obviously leads their team in goals and assists. Okay, 37 goals, 44 assists. And then you got Svechnikov, hope I'm saying that right, Teravainen, okay,
viruses,
right, D'Angelo on D. These guys, again, have firepower. First rank, okay, hold on, I think it's first rank penalty kill also in the league. 1 second, let me just pull that up, verify that stat. Yes, first ranked penalty kill in the team, so they're also defensive minded, okay. Their power play is not in the top 10, but that's all right. Even strength and on the penalty kill, they definitely have those stats there. But goaltending.
That's all it comes down
This goes back
this game
the
comes
goaltending.
all down to this.
Frederick Anderson.
That's the man right there.
Frederick Anderson is injured. Okay, he had 35 wins in the season, 2.17 goals against average, 4 shutouts. He actually was very serviceable, but he does have a lower body injury.
Yep.
It does not seem like he'll be out for the entire playoffs, but he's gonna miss a few games. How many games? I really think can be the deciding factor, because Boston plays a nice, tight game. Okay, they're defensively minded. And Brad Marchand just really gets under people's skin.
Of course he does.
Right?
No, he does.
He gets under my skin while I watch him. All right? I'm watching him, and I want to go through the TV. I'd be in the penalty box the entire game. Okay? And I bet you he's a very nice man in real life.
Questionable.
Like Tom Wilson, right?
I mean, Tom Wilson just.
He's got me.
Let's not even get started on that.
All right. Here's actually, I know I'm cutting away from this, but there was a poll of who do you hate, like out of all the hockey players, who don't you want to play against? And it was Tom Wilson.
That's my boy.
Okay? Was ranked number 1, but in the same poll, who would you want on your team?
Tom
Wilson was high up there. Who you wanted on your team? And by the way, Tom Wilson went through an entire NHL season
without getting fined,
without getting suspended.
Wow! Well, the playoffs are here.
Brad Marchand, though, he was suspended this year. Remember that shot he took at Jari?
Yes.
Yeah. He's crazy. All right. So I talked about the Hurricanes. I digress. Let's get to the Bruins. Brad Marchand, David Pastrnak, Patrice Bergeron, Taylor Hall. That was a great acquisition.
Yep.
He's put up numbers: 20 goals, 41 assists, and then leading the D line, the blue line, Charlie McAvoy. Okay, so they have an impressive team. I feel like if someone was going to upset here, I feel like the Bruins have a chance, and Vegas is not too sure also, because at the time of recording, Hurricanes are minus 115, and the Bruins are minus 105.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So they're not in that positive territory. So they're not really, they are an underdog. And by the way, 3 times they played during the regular season. Hurricanes beat them all 3 times in regulation, 3-0. But again, this one could be dicey. What are you thinking?
Well, for years the Hurricanes have been knocking on the door. First, it was in the beginning the Hurricanes were making the playoffs.
Yeah, that time they were like the bunch of jerks, right?
Yeah, they were doing celebrations in the mid-ice that belonged in the NFL. Now their goal is to put a deep run together. So the Hurricanes have a lot to prove. Don't blame them if they feel like they're finally breaking through if they beat the Bruins, right? But the Bruins have eliminated the Hurricanes twice in a row in 2018 and 19 and 2019 and 20. Once by a sweep. The other in 5 games. So Boston has owned Carolina a lot of times in the playoffs. The Bruins already presented a challenge, the first round opponent for the Hurricanes, yet goaltenders being banged up, there's a real chance that history can repeat itself, I believe, with the Hurricanes losing. I mean, the Hurricanes are number 1 in the Metropolitan Division. Boston is a wild card. I mean, statistically, you just think the Hurricanes should walk right in and just plow right through.
Yeah, but again, they had over 100 points. They had plenty of wins coming in.
Did.
So
now, with the Hurricanes beating them all 3 times, but it all comes down to, like you said, it's about another thing about an injury, that really could really make or break anything. It's a tough season when you have to rely on the fact that your goaltender being injured is the reason why you potentially could lose.
Well, I mean, Antti Ranta is no slouch. He knows how to play hockey. In fact, he's got 15 wins this season, 2.45 goals against average with 2 shutouts. So his save percentage is 91%. Frederick Anderson was at 92%. It's not like it's a major drop off, but you have concerns when you're not going in with your number 1 guy.
Right.
For me, I think the Canes are going to win. But I think it's going to be a hard-fought series. It's going to be dirty. 7 games with the Canes. I mean, that's what I'm going with. How about you?
That's pretty funny because I'm going to go Boston Bruins in 7.
Boston Bruins. All right, so we have our first mixed match here, right? All right, we'll
Yep.
see how we do. So Boston in 7, and I got Canes in 7. And let us move forward to the Toronto Maple Leafs versus the Tampa Bay Lightning, two-time champions coming in to try to defend, and they're going up against the choke artists.
Yeah.
I don't know if that came through. Choke artists. The Maple Leafs. There's 2 Canadian choke artists in this playoffs. We'll
Yeah.
get to the other one soon. But Austin Matthews, 60 goals.
Yeah. Love that.
Okay? 46 assists. Okay? 106 points on the year. Okay? If you take this team and you do not get past the first round again,
I don't know, but every time we always,
I'm not even a Maple Leafs fan, and like it's like, come on, do something. You're wasting the talent,
Yes.
okay? And it's not just Matthews, by the way. You got Marner, Nylander, John Tavares is there, okay?
Oh yeah, remember that guy, huh? Islander fans, how'd that work out for you?
Yep, but they're going against the defending champs, the defending 2-time champs. Can they three-peat?
Yep.
Three-peat?
And that's gonna happen because we know how that goes for a team trying to three-peat. You run out of gas at the end usually, and Malkin makes no basket. So then we call it the end of the day.
They are tired. I mean,
Yeah,
listen,
come on.
It's
impossible to do.
It is hard, and they had to do it through like the COVID year also,
Yeah,
which that
that's
was
where it's
all
a little- But then
weird.
they have less games, so there's really an asterisk. You know, when the Penguins were coming through, everybody was healthy. There was no plague, and we went to play all the games.
Plague.
and
Well, the plague is over now,
the
so
plague
we're
is
okay.
over. So,
Okay.
but given the fact though they had, is it as hard as what I'm trying to say? Was it as difficult for them to do it during COVID as it was for us to try?
Well, last year was, I think, was
it a full season?
yeah, last year
I thought
was a
it
full
wasn't
season.
a full.
No, it was full
I thought
season. Just the beginning, there was no fans, and then the fans finally showed
And
up.
the one before that was the short.
Yeah, well, that one got like
Nothing.
halfway canceled. Then they had. Remember, we were filming
What
in
was
like
the one that we had the playoffs with? They had no fans.
yeah, that, and it was like in September.
Yeah, it was like so. I mean, given the fact, listen,
All right,
all
but
things predicted,
look,
they're
they
about
still-
to repeat.
They still have Stamkos,
Stamkos
Hedman,
is-
Kucherov, Kolorin, okay? Braden Point. They still got the guys. Andre Vasilevsky, okay? 39 wins, 2.4249 goals against average. He is an amazing goalie, and this is where you go ahead and you look on the other side. It's Jack Campbell. Jack Campbell's job.
Jack Campbell.
But he's got, 2.64 goals against average. He got 5 shutouts. He's a good goalie,
He is,
but
but
can he handle it in the playoffs? I know Vasilevsky can handle it in the playoffs. I don't know if Campbell can handle it in the playoffs.
yeah, we don't know that. But you have to remember one thing: Steve Stamkos has 10 goals and 16 assists in the last 9 games. That's wow.
And if you think about it, remember last year he was injured for the playoffs.
And Lightning are completely
Yeah.
healthy.
Yeah, they're completely healthy.
So like, I mean, there's no reason. This will be an unbelievable matchup.
Oh yeah, and by the way, Maple Leafs #1 power play. Okay, 8th ranked penalty kill also, and the Lightning, they're no slouches. 8th ranked power play and 11th ranked penalty kill. So I mean, there's gonna be a lot of
Fighting, a lot of problems.
a lot of fighting.
A lot of problems.
A lot of problems.
You know, like I believe just a week ago, like there was the Tavares and Buntling were going at it with Hagel. You know, like there's just a lot. There's just gonna be a lot of fighting.
Oh, it's definitely gonna be a scrappy series. So Vegas though, let's talk about the Vegas odds. Maple Leafs -120, Lightning +100. Okay, so the Lightning are obviously not the favorite here. Maple Leafs are a much bigger favorite than Boston.
I mean, I disagree with
the
Vegas.
Lightning are definitely a lot further down in the ratings here, based off of Vegas.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, okay. I mean, I don't agree with Vegas. I think it'll go 7 games.
All right, who do you like?
I like Lightning, given the fact that they're completely healthy.
What do the Lightning have to do? What are the keys for Lightning to win this series?
I mean, as long as they stay healthy and score,
Healthy, offense.
Offense is going to be their key. Stamkos is going to have to run it, like if he keeps up with those stats the way he's going.
Special teams.
You know, like, and then the question is if Jack Campbell, you know, like, can he
Well, he's done it in the
he-
regular season.
Can he beat? Well, can he beat and hold down the defending champs? And I don't know if he can.
Well, see, yeah, I'm going Maple Leafs in 6. I think that the Maple Leafs are going to win. I think the keys to the series here are the goaltending for the Maple Leafs, okay? I do believe, remember, the playoffs, the refs seem to put away the whistle. So you don't get as many power play opportunities, but you need to take advantage of those. And I think this number 1 power play, I think that's going to be a factor. And Austin Matthews. I mean, he's the key also, okay? So, yeah, the goaltending on the Leaf side, but I think Austin Matthews finally puts this team on his shoulders and carries them through in 6, and you're going Lightning in 7. You're going upset. Lightning in 7.
I am going upset.
Yeah, you went upset last round, too, with the Bruins
I
in
did.
7.
I am, because everything in life usually goes the opposite way. So
All right, well,
that's the best part of the whole part. This is the
now we get to talk about the Rangers and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Yeah. Finally, we get to talk about them. We saved the best matchup for last, actually. Yes. I think that this matchup is not going to be the most entertaining to watch.
Nope. In fact, we should...
I mean, the Maple Leafs Lightning is going to be entertaining. I think all the other series are going to be very entertaining and more high scoring than this series. I'm going to let you start. Go ahead.
Oh, my God. There's so much to talk about. Let's see. I mean, I just got to see the Penguins play the last placed Flyers in Philly. And I got to take my girlfriend to the first time ever for a hockey game, which was
the
great.
Penguins playing Flyers.
Yeah. So, like, being there as a Penguins fan, watching them, you would expect, oh, my God, this should be no-brainer. Of course, we don't have Tristan Jarry. This is a concern.
It's a broken foot, by the way.
It is a broken foot.
At first, they were like, he's week to week with a lower body injury. Then it came out that he's got a broken foot. That's not a lower body injury. That's a broken bone.
Yeah, like that's a problem. And like when you have somebody named Kreider in the net on the other side, with like that's.
You mean Kreider shooting at you?
Like with 52 points and
52
then you have
goals.
What is it? Panarin.
Panarin. Yes, Chicago. He came from Chicago.
96 points he's got, and then let's go. Let's talk about the fact the Rangers having the goaltending net.
Shesterkin.
Yes, I mean
Igor Shesterkin. He is a wall.
There is only 2 people named Igor, and they probably are very not friendly people.
He's got a 2.07 goals against average, 6 shutouts. He leads the league in all goaltenders. 0.935 save percentage. It's impossible. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's hard to get pucks behind him. And this is where the Penguins, they're 3-1 against the Rangers. The one time they beat the Rangers, they scored 1 goal. It was a 1-0 shutout by Tristan Jarry. Okay, in all the other games, they barely score. Okay, I think Shesterkin has a shutout too in there. So when the Penguins don't score, they get frustrated,
and they don't score because they turn the puck over nonstop. I watched them do it. Like
and
it's like they don't. They're slow. Oh my God! It's like watching. It's like if there was a hot chick and there was 2 guys like George Clooney, who's older and kind of wrinkly, and then some 25-year-old young
Jason
hottie.
Momoa?
Or maybe Justin Bieber or something like that.
Jason Momoa.
We're basically the old guys, and the Rangers are the young guys, and that's the problem. Is that they're going to run around us. Like we are too busy eating a bowl of Fruit Loops.
The speed that the Rangers have is extremely impressive, and the Penguins turning over pucks at the blue line leads to a goal, and Shesterkin just needs 1.
Yeah.
You get 1 goal.
Malkin in the box all the time, and I got to look at him and just say, wow, buddy.
Yeah. The bright sides on the Penguin is Jake Gensel, 40-goal scorer. Okay. Sidney Crosby has 31 goals. Chris Letang had a career year, with 68 points. That's the highest.
Yep.
And the journeyman, the aged, fine wine, Jeff Carter.
Love that guy.
Okay, 19 goals, 26 assists. And then you got to even throw Brian Boyle. He's been playing amazing for the Penguins on that 4th line. And, he gives them some size and some toughness. And I really like him in the lineup. And the Penguins actually had a little bit of a, question mark, where Kapanen has been horrible this year, and I feel really bad for him because when you see him on the ice, he really gives it his all, but he's not been good. And when Zucker came back, Zucker, I don't know exactly pronounce the last name. It's one of the easy ones that you hear the different announcers say it differently. I think it's Zucker.
Yeah.
Okay. When he came back, they were like benching Kapanen and then benching Boyle and like switching back forth. I think Boyle definitely needs to be in the lineup. But Zucker can't stay healthy, and he got injured last game.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure if he's going to be ready for the playoffs. So if not, you're going to see Kapanen maybe. Sometimes the regular season, okay, just completely disappears when you look at the playoffs. It's like a brand new season, and it doesn't matter if someone scored 40 goals or scored no goals. When they come into the playoffs, it's your chance to redeem yourself. And a lot of these teams do turn it around. Like I've seen the best power play turn into the worst power play in the playoffs. Okay, I've seen someone who scored no goal. I'm not no goals, but had a really mediocre season, and he lights it up in the playoffs, and vice versa. You see a star player just completely disappear. So
Penguins run out of gas. It's the problem.
yeah, well, I mean, I do not like this lineup, and we mentioned Jari, Casey DeSmith. I mean, here's the thing: even if Jari was playing, which he's not starting this series, and I don't know when he will be available with a broken foot.
I don't know how he's going to.
But even then, Pittsburgh fans, I wouldn't feel comfortable if Jari was in net after last year's performance.
No, I mean, yeah, that was a horrible performance. I mean, like the last couple of seasons, the playoffs have been.
And if you think about it, this is almost a mirror of last year. Casey DeSmith last year was the backup to Jari,
Yep.
got injured, okay? And Jari had to play the playoffs, and they didn't bench him because they had no choice. He was the third string goaltender.
Well, the third string goalie I got to see in Philly wasn't too promising. So, I mean.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is now, last year, I think we were all like, let's see someone else. This guy can't do it.
Right.
So this year, we were kind of feeling good because Jari had an amazing year.
Yeah, he had a good year.
But at this point, you're going to get Casey DeSmith,
Yep.
and he's going to be the guy. You're not going to that backup goaltender.
No,
it's going to be DeSmith. So we're going to find out what DeSmith
is
made of. And listen, I watched him. It was like over 45 shots against the Boston Bruins, and he pitched a shutout. I mean, he played amazing. If he can pull off those type of performances, he can match Shesterkin. He can help the Penguins, but I don't see it. I'm gonna give you the call right here. First off, I'm gonna give you the keys for the Penguins if they want any chance of this. Okay, discipline. They cannot let the Rangers get under their skin, and most of the time it happens when they're not scoring, and they feel like the bodies are on top of them. Right? They feel like they're being held, and all those things that happen in the playoffs that the refs, for some reason, don't blow whistles for. Okay. The other thing is the coaching staff, the ability to make adjustments. I've watched Sullivan sit there and go down in series and just put the same line combinations out without any adjustments just because he trusts so much in the system. And sure, I understand that, but sometimes you need to make some changes, not only in the game, but between games. Okay? So I want discipline, adjustments, and goaltending. Casey DeSmith, can he stand on his head and steal a game for the Penguins? Because Igor Shesterkin is going to be standing on his head. Okay, so that you could bet on. You could go and bet it right away. So I'm going Rangers in 5, and it pains me to say it, and I will say it again, clear to the microphone. Rangers in 5. I'm going to get texts after this video goes up from all my friends that are Rangers fans. Rangers in 5. All right, what do you think?
I mean, it is a birthday week coming up, so I invite all the Rangers to come to a party so that maybe we can hold them hostage like that Celtic movie back in the day. And then maybe...
Well, we just need to hold Shesterkin hostage.
Oh, I'll take Kreider and Panarin, and I'll take the whole starting
line.
Yep, all of them.
Adam Fox, right?
I mean, like, it's a shame to know that, like, what we have is not good enough, but because it's just not against the Rangers. I believe it's just not. The Rangers are finally stacked.
Listen, the Rangers were going to be coming to this point.
Yeah.
I think they got here faster
than
because of Shesterkin.
Yeah, and I think they're going to go in 5 also. I think the Rangers are going to. I mean, I'd be happy if we listen. I'd be happy if we could go the length with them, but I really don't see it. So it's a shame to say that I have the Penguins going down in the first round also in 5.
Yeah, Vegas is unsure at time of filming. Again, things may have changed. Rangers -105, Penguins
Which
-115.
makes no sense to me whatsoever.
So
Maybe Vegas knows something that we don't know.
I don't know. It seems when I look at that, when you think the same thing. We think the Rangers are gonna close them out quite easily. The games are gonna be close. I think they're gonna be boring 1-0, 2-1 games.
I hate that.
Okay,
Maybe we should
but
put up the
I don't know.
goals, man.
Maybe Vegas knows something. And look, the Penguins are pretty healthy coming in here.
Except for their goaltender. But they're
but-
healthy. I mean, Malkin's okay. I mean, I don't know what healthy is with that.
To be
guy.
fair, I think before this season and last season, I think D. Smith and Jari were both like thought of as potential number ones, but then Jari just took the extra step in the regular season. So, I don't know. All right, and that was the last. Wait, what about the keys for the Rangers? You have any keys for the Rangers for?
Just do what they do.
Just do what they do.
I mean, like literally, it's going to come down to the same thing. They're going to have speed. They're going to
Yeah.
they got goaltending, and they're smart.
Two other interesting stats: Rangers 4th ranked power play, Penguins 3rd ranked penalty kill. So they are good at the kill, but the Penguins power play has been non-existent.
It's 0.
It's ice cold.
Terrible.
And the best part if you're the opponent, the worst part if you're a Penguins fan, they give up so many shorthanded chances.
Yep.
Because they pass the puck about 17,000 and a half times
that's
without
it.
taking a shot.
Literally.
And finally, after each pass, the defenseman's like, oh, he's going to pass it. I'm just going to go up there and take it for a breakaway. And then you're asking your goaltender to stand on his head.
I really wish we had crashed the net more. Like, we just do the same thing all the time.
All right, so that is the Eastern Conference, okay? We're going to wrap up this video. We got a second video because when we try to put these all in one video, do both conferences at the same time, it becomes way too long. So just remember, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, put the comments below on who you think is going to win. Let's, we agreed on everything except, no, we agreed on 2 and we disagreed on 2.
Correct.
Okay, all right. And by the way, below us, okay, somewhere on the screen, all right, I'll have your picks and my picks, and then when we do a follow-up after the series is over, we'll tally it all up, and then we'll obviously make picks for the next round. All right, so join us in the next video where we break down the Western Conference.